What is up, my degenerates? Welcome back to my crypto journey. Of course, my name is Rodney, and I just finished listening to the Saitama AMA that was held earlier today with the addition of the mysterious Australian accented guy, Rob, I guess his name is. Apparently, this is the guy that holds a lot of the liquidity for the Saitama project. Now, I got to say, I walked away from that AMA feeling better about this product than I have in a long time. And I'll explain exactly why. And it was mostly because of some of the things that Rob guy explained. Now, I have a little bit of gripe with him for one reason, but we're going to talk about some of the good things and obviously some of the bad things. But I have some talking points right here. I'll go over my talking points. So the first talking point is Max and his workload. Now, obviously, the Saitama team has separated from Max Hernandez, the old lead tech guy on the Saitama dev team. And it always seemed like when there was some sort of delay with Saitamask, Russ would always refer back to Max, like something is wrong on his side, So I'm not sure if he was overwhelmed because he also mentioned that Max runs a large company. I'm not sure what that company is, and he couldn't do the things that the team needed him to do. Obviously, Saitama got an entire tech team in India to work on Saitamask Pro. So Max is gone. I think they fired him, kind of soft fired him, gave him a chance to become part of the community and, kind of put in his resignation. But I think they wanted him out because they were tired of delays. The Rob guy. So apparently this Rob mysterious figure, New Zealand or Australian accented guy, is the guy who was originally in on the project, right? Who helped fund some of the initial liquidity for the project and holds a large majority of the liquidity and holds the keys to that liquidity. So he can just take the money, dip out, and do whatever he wants to do. But him being on this AMA, he's trying to reinsure investors that that's not what he's going to do. Now, he wouldn't show his face. Like he said he doesn't want to be on the internet. But then he also mentioned that he was at the Vegas event and that a lot of people know who he is and they've seen him. So I'm sure that someone in the community is going to find this guy on maybe, a video from the Vegas event. I think Jake Gagan shot that video. Maybe they'll find him in the crowd or something like that. But he didn't want to show his face. I don't know why not show your face, especially if you're going to be part of the Saitama team going forward. It looks like that may be the case, right? So it'd be good for him to show his face. I know he said he didn't want to be in the internet, but I think come on, man, you hold the keys to most of the liquidity. Just show your face. It really helps investor confidence, right? So they talked about wanting to get on top tier exchanges, and that's the reason why they're launching this new contract, because the old contract, issues with the burn wall and those sort of things, made it so they didn't get ranked correctly on CoinMarketCap and made it so they couldn't get on any top tier exchanges. Now, I'm not sure if those bridges have already been burned because some of the things Saitama Guru has said about some of the bigger exchanges in the space, like getting on their exchanges and stealing all of their customers and some pie in the sky stuff. So he said some really crazy things. And guys, these powerful men like CZ in the space, they have very, very long memories. They understand what Saitama is. They understand what Saitama is doing. They understand their interaction with the community. So going forward, I still think it's going to be tough to get listed on any of the exchanges, especially since the Saitama team and people around the Saitama team have implied that they were going to be getting listed on Binance, months ago. And we know that when it comes to big exchanges like Binance, it's a no-go, right? They literally, exclude projects indefinitely when that sort of thing happens. So I don't know, maybe with the new logo, and this is the new logo, this is part of the other news, that, they'll get on some of these exchanges. So this is the new Saitama logo, more like Fox Tama. I mean, it's all right. I didn't mind the last logo, like obviously the cute puppy dog with a little thing around its head. It's obviously like that's not a good logo, but just the word Saitama is fine. I guess this is not a bad logo, but it's kind of hilarious. It looks like Fox Tama. I think it's kind of lame, but it's better than what they had, I guess. So they're rebranding. They want to do a full rebrand. They want to get away from everything that happened the last year or so, which I think is a good thing, but it's still not enough, and I'll explain why. So apparently this Rob guy, this mysterious figure, actually docks to the team, but he won't dox to us. It's like, dude, just dox to us. Like, look at, just dox to everyone, right? You know what I mean? Dox to everyone, because I think that's what people want to see. They're going to, okay, this is one of the things that Rob talked about, which I think was great, because there's a huge, there's a lot of drama going on around about people getting airdrop tokens when there was the inception of Saitama, right? A lot of people got airdrop tokens. Now, the crazy thing, and this is what I hate about Russ, is that, he's so holier than thou and dismissive of explaining what happened. And you can see when this question came from the community, Russ didn't even want to answer it. But I forgot who was, I think it was MK, who was asking the questions, relaying them to Russ and Rob, like literally like had to shut Russ down and facilitate that question to Rob. And Rob's like, hey, the reason why people got airdropped a bunch of those tokens is that when a token like Saitama comes into the space, you want to airdrop a bunch of top wallets and other projects free tokens. Why? Because it's like marketing. That's actually true. That's actually a good point. There are a lot of tokens from smaller projects that the developers will airdrop into bigger wallets and other projects so that people who are watching Etherscan, who see which tokens go in and out of these wallets, will be like, hey, oh, this wallet got dropped Saitama. What's Saitama? It already 3x'd? Let me buy into Saitama. That's an interesting marketing strategy. Now, it's not one any serious projects use in the space, but it's one that some shitcoins use, right? Some community tokens use, and that's what Saitama did in the beginning. So that makes sense. That makes perfect sense. And Russ was just like dismissive of it. Like he didn't even want to explain it. Like, oh, we already explained this before. I've never heard of that. I watch a lot of the AMAs. I've never heard of that. When did you explain that? When the token was fucking 2 months old? You got to keep updating people on all these things, especially when it's a huge issue in the space right now. Russ specifically said, I don't want to talk about that because people are fudding it, or he doesn't want to address the FUD. No, how about you stand in front of it and face it head on like the Rob guy did? Rob is hearing it they hear what Feltron is saying, what Skywalker is saying. Rob got in front of it and addressed it. Now, is that 100% accurate? I don't know, but it makes sense, right? So getting in front of it and answering those questions to me is a good thing. And this is why I don't like Russ as a front man. You got to get a different guy. The lies he's been caught in, the things that he's said, right? The things that he's said that people will not forget. I think it's just too much. You can't have Russ as your front man. Look it, you got the new logo. You got the new rebranding, right? They're going to do the Saitamask Pro. Looks decent. New contract, more, friendly with exchanges and ranking systems and everything. Get a new front man or front lady, whatever the fuck you want to call it. If you do that, I think this project has a lot of promise. Now, obviously, there are still issues because it is proven that some of the Saitama dev team were selling tokens all along the way. Look, this would not have been an issue if Russ would have just never said, I was a successful businessman before and we're paying for everything out of pocket. He's on record saying that hundreds of times, I'm sure. And we know that's not true. He came out, contradicted himself, never admitted to lying about that, and said, yeah, we're paying people in Saitama tokens. We're selling Saitama to, pay for other things. It's like, well, when you do those sorts of things, it makes the project look bad because it looks like, from what we see from the outside looking in, especially since you're living a life of luxury now, this project has not been doing good. The community, a lot of the community, especially the influencers, have lost a lot of faith in Saitama. And you're not being transparent with us with everything that's going on. You got to be transparent with us. And I feel like that trust has already been broken. We've already caught Russ in too many lies. Has a holier than thou complex when it comes to addressing the FUD, right? He just called himself a FUD killer professional. But no, how about you actually take the time like the Rob guy did and explain what the hell happened? If they just did that, this project would have so much more promise because it has a space in the smaller cap community token world. It does. It can be great, but you got to get Russ out of there, in my opinion. Who the fuck is this Rob guy? He said on the AMA that he didn't want to do Russ's job. I understand that, but you need a person to represent the product. Maybe you could kick Russ back to the fucking back office. Stop letting him be the face of Saitama, because I think some of the stuff he said on AMAs, I don't think other people in crypto really like him. So if you get someone out there who's actually spearheading the project that it doesn't sound like a fucking, I don't know, just Russ gives me real Walmart and Big Lot vibes. He just gives me real Walmart and Big Lot vibes. That's what he gives me. Get someone else in there, and I feel like this project can do well. So let me know what you think in the comments down below. That's all I really, took from that AMA, of course. Well, I mean, there's some more about the contract. Let me back up a little bit. Okay, so they talked about the contract. The only delays with the contract would be if the audit comes back from TechRate to be kind of bad in some sort of way. And then, of course, they have to have Saitamask Pro audited and those sorts of things, right? But besides that, there should be no delays. All the old wallets, even the Dust wallets, are going to get airdropped new Saitama tokens. And, of course, this is a ratio. So if you have, 25 billion, you're going to have 25,000 instead. So that is the new ratio for the Saitama tokens. But but I think everybody knows that at this point. So let me know what you think in the comments down below. What did you think of the AMA? I actually walked away feeling kind of positive that they address some of those concerns right now, especially these big concerns in the community. But I'm still not satisfied with Russ as a frontman and the attitude he has. So let me know what you think in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you soon. Peace.